Hey, Sharks. My name is Jacob Robinson. I'm from Katy, Texas, and I'm the co-founder of DigWorld. I'm here today seeking $200,000 for 10% in my business. Sharks, let me take you all the way back to your childhood. You're riding in the back of your parents' old jalopy.
Mark
You're
over it
gazing
already.
out that window, and behold, the magic land of a construction site. Your imagination starts to run wild, dreaming of getting in one of those excavators and digging up some dirt. Well, Sharks, it's time to turn those childhood dreams into a reality. Introducing DigWorld, the construction theme park that gives everyone the opportunity to operate real construction equipment. Check it out. At DigWorld, even kids can safely drive and operate full-size construction equipment, like real excavators. Kids can get behind the controls and they can dig up some dirt. They get to drive full-size skid steers and even utility terrain vehicles around windy tracks and so much more. All with added safeguards, of course.
So cool.
There's no simulators here, Sharks. We offer hands-on experiences for the whole family. DigWorld is the ultimate family-friendly theme park where everyone can build their hearts out, allowing us to create memories that last a lifetime. So, Sharks, who's ready to dig up some of that nostalgia and pave the way for DigWorld to become a national brand?
Mark, did you not do a deal on the show?
We are back with another Shark Tank Breakdown episode. I am your host, Dave, 10-year intellectual property attorney, dealing with everything from patents, trademarks, copyrights, as well as trade secrets. And this is interesting. And I definitely think kids would definitely enjoy this. I think about all the trampoline spots, kind of sky zones and things like that, at least here in Michigan. I think that's what they're called. But the trampoline parks where kids are kind of going to and they can kind of jump on different trampolines and kind of play arcade games and things like that. Obviously, you have Dave & Buster's and similar shops like that that are popping up everywhere for kids to be able to go and play. But I think this is a winner. I mean, I actually like the whole theme of kind of you have these different cats. I think that's maybe a trademark term, but these construction equipment that people or that kids can be able to operate themselves and not just this kind of dumbed down toy version of it, but the real thing. I think number one, it's something that's cool that I agree with the gentleman will last a lifetime. But then number two, I think that it will kind of push more people into that construction, being able to kind of do this when they're younger. So I'm excited to kind of hear about what DigWorld is doing. Now, the three things that I look for is how simple is the product, how effective is it, what's the market like, and the fourth one is, are you protecting the IP? Now, the simplicity of it, obviously, for the end user, the kids, you're just going and it seems like using it. So it seems like that's pretty straightforward. Seems like it has a little bit more complexity from a logistical issue as it relates to the owners, but it seems like the consumers, it's not tough for them to use. So it's kind of looking so far so good on that. The effectiveness, now that's going to a lot of times be told by the revenue that the company is generating as well as the reviews. Now at what, $200,000 for 10%, $2 million valuation. I would imagine that Jacob has some sales to kind of back up that valuation. And then the market. Again, like I said, we're always trying to look for new things take our kids to do and kind of keep them busy and kind of create those memories. And I actually like this thing. It's something that's cool, it's outdoors that it's different from like going to a theme park or going to an arcade game that has maybe a track for you to just kind of race around and maybe some arcade games or a trampoline park. This is different. So I do think that this has a place in the market, although it's other things out there, not maybe a DigWorld, but it's out there, things out there, arcade theme parks that kind of for the kids to go to. But I actually like the market for this one. And then the IP. Now, I'm not sure if he has any patents on this, but I definitely looked up the trademark to the DigWorld. It seems like he has at least a word mark on DigWorld that's registered and a few other pending applications for the logo of DigWorld. So he is protecting this intellectual property. We'll see what from the sales standpoint, how effective is this thing been. Like I said, $2 million valuation. That seems to be low based on kind of what they're offering, in my opinion. But we have to hear more so from Jacob on that one. Before we get back to it, to finish it off, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. I would love to have you part of the IP community. And so far, episode 13, hey, everyone has gotten a deal from what the Hella Awkward, the card game, from let's see here, River Bend, which is essentially kind of this patented product for chickens that got an offer and got a deal. And then you had the actual dome dock, which is essentially a piece of plastic that you can kind of stack up to 20 hats on. That got a deal. So let's see if Jacob and his company DigWorld can make it a perfect 4 for 4. Let's get back to it and let's see what the Sharks say. Looks like Robert was asking, Mark, did he do a deal that's similar to this? Let's go.
Yeah, Extreme Sandbox.
Extreme Sandbox, great company, completely different model.
What's the difference?
So Extreme Sandbox is geared towards adults only. Big equipment, typically one-time experiences, a couple $100 per person for the experience. You smash a car, that kind of deal. Dig World, on the other hand,
Which is very cool.
that is very cool. Dig World, on the other hand, is a family-friendly theme park. As long as you're 32 inches tall or higher, you can do
Also,
everything.
Damon can't go. Walk me through the model.
Everybody will be charged $24.99.
Flat rate.
Flat rate, $24.99 to get in.
That's all?
That's it.
Wow.
Am I there for how long?
So typically it's about a 2-hour experience. You can stay longer if you
2
want.
hours
Yes,
for
sir.
24 bucks?
Yes, right. And so we have excavators where we dig dirt. We have excavators where we play a lot of different games. We have you pick up different objects, as you saw in the video. We have a large excaputter where you put a large golf ball into a net. You drive skid steers, UTVs. We are a standard theme park. We have your food and beverage.
What was your background, Jacob, before? What did you do for a
Yeah,
living?
so I'm a serial entrepreneur. The last 9 years, I built and sold a large commercial cleaning company in Texas, and then really started this idea in 2019. Thought we'd raise some money. Thought it'd be a great idea, right? Until you're sitting in somebody's office and you're like, hey, let me tell you a great idea. I'm gonna build a theme park. And they're like, okay, sounds great. And then they're like, hey, I'm gonna take a 3-year-old and I'm gonna let him drive a skid steer by himself. They're like, get out of my office. And so it took a little bit longer, and then we finally completed the raise in 21, built it, opened it in March of 22.
And Jacob, how much does it cost to set one up?
We're about to start the franchising process. And so we have an opportunity to franchise and corporately own our parks. So
Okay.
we'll go down that route. Roughly $2.5 million can get the park open, inclusive of equipment.
And then you're leasing the equipment on that one.
No, sir.
You're buying it.
We bought the equipment.
So I'm assuming you are buying it rather than leasing it because you have to fit that so that it is safe
Yes, ma'am.
for children.
That's right.
So
So-
you're changing the equipment around a bit.
That's exactly right. Safety is obviously number one at Dig World. A close second's fun, but safety is number one. All of our machines are outfitted with our proprietary technology.
Jacob, how did you think of this idea?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So my wife and I, we have 3 amazing kids. My 9-year-old son, Pierce, was born in 2015. Happy, healthy little boy. Like a lot of other boys, he loves construction equipment and garbage trucks and dump trucks and really anything in that category. In 2017, when he was almost 2 years old, on a Saturday morning, my wife walked into his room and found him unconscious in his crib.
Oh.
We rushed him to the hospital. They weren't sure he was going to make it. We learned he contracted bacterial meningitis. He was in a coma 12 days. We were in the hospital 75 days. And when we left,
Oh my
we left
God.
with a different little boy. Pierce is now nonverbal. He's
Oh.
epileptic. He's deaf in both ears, and he's in a wheelchair. But Pierce still has a joy like no other, and that boy still loves construction equipment. And so my wife and I, we wanted to do something that brought families together. We learned the importance of family during that time, and we said, hey, what sounds like a super easy idea? Let's build a theme park, right? Because that sounds like an easy
That's
idea.
really easy.
That's right. The other thing I just want to say thank you real quick is when we were in the hospital, those 75 days, every night, my wife and I, we'd watch Shark Tank to just completely check out mentally and kind of forget what happened during that day. It means a lot to me. So thank you for letting me be here today to tell
Wow.
our
Well, here's
story.
to Pierce. I
Wow.
hope he's doing
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
How long have you been in business, Jacob?
Yeah, 2.5 years,
One location.
one location.
And how- what
walk
are your
us through
sales?
the revenue on that location last year.
Yeah, last year, that was our first calendar year. We did $1.2 million.
Wow.
Oh,
Make any
wow.
money on that?
We broke even on that one last year. So
What will you do this year?
this year, we're on track to do a little over 1.5 million.
So
And
you think you'll
do a
make money?
26% EBITDA on that, and net about $350,000.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If I'm a franchisee, how much do I have to spend to get set up?
So first off, you're paying a $100,000 franchise fee to us.
100 grand.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the reason there is because we're not trying to sell 300 units, right? We're not trying to be a trampoline park that you see all over town. We really only want to go 1, maybe 2 per market across the country.
Okay, 100 grand. What do I get for that?
Yep. So you get that market. At that point, obviously, we'll give you our playbook. We'll give you the whole thing, our architects, our technology behind it. We'll tell you what equipment to buy, where to buy it. Depending upon which version of the park you would like to build, you're going to need to raise anywhere from $2.5 million. You could raise up to $5.5 million if
Whoa.
you choose.
Big
But that's on you.
capex. Big capex.
It is. So then I'm going to take a total of 7% fees, 5% royalty to me, and then
5%
2%
royalty.
marketing.
Here's my thing. I love the idea, but I think that the challenge is you have to find a good piece of property. But let's say you're in Southern California, it's too hot, it's windy, it's raining, and you got to raise a good amount of money. I just don't think this one's for me, so I'm out.
Appreciate it.
Look,
And as Damon goes out, look at some of the things that I kind of wrote down. He talked about proprietary technology, so I would imagine that he has some patents out there on the theme park because again, you essentially have to kind of refit this construction equipment. So when you go to John Deere, these other companies that are building these construction equipment, they're kind of building it as is, but you're having to change that to make it kind of friendly for kids, for families to be able to use at a theme park. So it seems like they have some proprietary technology on that. So I would imagine that they have some patents, even though it didn't come out. Yeah, they're profitable. You're talking about 2023. I would imagine when he said a couple years, 2023, $1.2 million, broke even. That past year, which is 2024, it seems like they're on pace to do 1.5 million and make 300,000. So that's great. The fact that they're profitable so quickly. This guy obviously is an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. So shouts out to him. But again, it all goes back to solving a problem. A lot of times these businesses are started based on you solving a problem for yourself or solving a problem for a friend or a family member. In his case, very touching story, solving a problem for his kid who essentially is disabled and can't kind of do a lot of different things, but to be able to still have him have a field life, have a fun life, and kind of creating a theme park as a result of that, that's crazy. But again, it still kind of goes back to the heart of entrepreneurship, that being you're creating something to help out or solve a problem for yourself or friends or family members. So again, you're talking about a theme park, a construction size theme park. So the fact that he did that, that shows you how much he loved his, not only his family, but his kids. Again, I like the franchising model. Now, I maybe disagree with Damon a little bit just because I'm in the great state of Michigan. And again, as I think Robert talked about, you have theme parks all over, trampoline parks, which I had talked about earlier, but you still have like different outdoor spots where, you know, obviously in the wintertime or where it's colder, you have to kind of shut down at least the outdoor part of it. You're only operating the inside part of it. So maybe he has some arcade games, things like that inside, or some construction equipment games and activities you can do inside, but you can still have a profitable, well-run business in colder states or states that maybe the kind of the weather fluctuates with this theme park, even though it's not, like I said, it's not as Damon pointed out, Southern California, where the weather is just kind of perfect all the time. I think you can still, whether you're in the Midwest or the East Coast or down south or something like that, I think you can still have success with that. So I don't agree with Damon on that. Maybe let me know if you guys disagree with me in the comment section. And to the extent, it seems like he has one, I'm not sure where, he's in Texas, Katy, Texas. So to the extent that you have kind of are watching this and are in Katy, Texas and experience a theme park, let me know how you like it. I think having a construction theme park is different for sure. And I think, I don't know, I think it can be something there. And then the fact that you have this franchising model, obviously for Jacob, I think that's a winner. So let's see what the other Sharks think. Looks like so far Damon is out. See if this guy gets a deal, and let's go.
I love the idea. I love fun. I love any business that sells fun. What I'm struggling with is how many franchisees can raise $2.5 million today
I have 28 interviewed and vetted people that want a franchise today.
that can
Wow.
afford the
That can
$2.5
afford
million.
it, yes, sir, and want to execute on it. However, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that while franchising is the avenue that we see right now, we also still have the ability to go corporate-owned and expand.
So why haven't you already?
I think that's what we're currently doing right now. I think we wanted to get the product to completely check every single box. Also, I'm not trying to open up 30 franchises tomorrow, right? Slow and steady growth is how we get there.
And how much of the company do you own right now?
Over here in the franchising entity that we're asking money from today, right now I own 9%.
So this, what you're asking for money for today does not include the first park?
So what I'm asking for is another LLC over here that my investors own 5% of. A business partner owns 5%, I own 90%.
Jacob, you got to throw the original deal in the deal.
But isn't that what he's offering?
There's no equity in Dig World number
That
one.
option is on the table. That's a
Oh.
different
I thought
cash
you
Oh, I
just said
thought
it
it-
was.
No.
We get no equity in Dig World number one?
Nope.
So what am I
This
buying?
is it right here.
Seems like things are getting spicy. Little TiVo action.
Franchise portion of his construction equipment theme park for kids, Dig World.
We get no equity in Dig World number one?
Nope.
So what am I
This is
buying?
it right here.
You are buying you're buying the upside.
You're
So,
buying the
that's right.
franchising
You're
organization.
buying the upside of where we're going to take
Just
this
the
thing and become a national
franchises.
brand.
Jacob, you know that moment in a Shark Tank pitch where everything's going great and then it just kind of goes back?
Sure.
Where was that moment in this pitch?
Yeah, when he said he didn't belong to Dig World 1.
When I figured out
Yep.
that I'm not getting any
Yep.
part of Dig
Yep.
World 1.
Yeah.
Like I was so into it. I was like checking out the other
It
sharks.
went from really, really exciting
Yeah,
to
I was like,
nice.
what's Cuban going to do? Is he going to overpay? What's going on? And then I was like, I'm paying 200 grand for an idea.
100%.
So on that note, we absolutely can be a part of this deal.
Any shark, any investor actually, why wouldn't they want to de-risk with getting some of the cash flow?
Right.
Because you
But he's
made
got
three.
that catch-22 of his existing investors, right?
Tell us about them.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Yeah,
How
let me-
much have you raised? And what's your debt?
Yeah, it's a great question. No debt. So we raised $2.6 million from 30 individuals.
And have any of them been paid back yet?
This year, we're doing distributions this year.
They're
You know, I gotta
passive
admit,
investors.
that's not too bad. That's
Thank
not
you.
too
No, that's
bad.
pretty good.
Listen, you've done amazing on this carpet.
Thank you.
And while I believe in it and I believe in you, I just don't know that it's the right business for me. And so for that reason, I'm out.
Thank you.
I thought the presentation was pretty good. You're going into uncharted territory. I think there's too much risk with the unknowns yet proven. That's the problem. I don't know yet this is going to work. And so I'm sorry, I'm out.
Rob and Mark.
Jacob, look, I applaud the desire, and you're obviously a great dad, and you can tell how much affected your son. You're trying to do good for him and build a business.
Thank you.
What I don't like, it was that moment where I get nothing for my 200,000. If you would entertain 200,000, I'll give you the 10%, but I want 10% of Dig World too.
Ooh, eats you out.
I want
That
something
sounds fair.
substantial behind my money. To me, I see a corporate entity.
Yep.
We're proving out the model.
Yep.
You're going to continue with that because you're going to try new things and so on. So to me, it's one business. 200,000, 10%.
Okay. Thank
There's
you.
one
Thank you for
other
your offer.
shark left, which
Okay.
is
Yeah,
Mark.
Jacob, I love the idea,
Thank you.
but you came too early, right? You've only run one location. Now you're adding a whole nother business in franchising, and you haven't even tried to operate 2 locations that you own corporately, right? If you had come in and said, okay, I got 3 under my belt. I've got managers. They're all running the way I want them to, know it cold.
Yep.
And so I'm ready to go franchise. Then, boom, it'd be a no-brainer.
Got it.
Right? But you haven't even learned how to find that second location. And now you're trying to help people in other cities figure it out.
Sure.
Right? You're just too early. And so for those reasons, I'm out.
I think everybody's out.
What do you
except
think of Robert's
Robert.
offer?
I own 10% of general partnership of Dig World One, and I own 10% of the corporate franchise that we're going to build out for 200,000.
Yes, and you're good at helping me dream. Do we go franchising or corporately owned?
Oh yeah, I mean, but I feel like you're going to figure it out. I'm just going to give you some guidance.
Awesome.
Good name.
You got a
Do
deal,
we have
sir.
a deal?
Yes, sir.
4 for 4. We are 4 for 4.
Congrats, guys. Congrats, Jacob.
I love it.
Thank you.
My twins are going to love
Congrats.
it.
Thank y'all so much.
Congrats.
Great presentation.
Thank
Great
you.
presentation.
Good job.
Robert brings a lot of excitement to the table. Super excited about working with him and building out a national brand. Dig World's coming to you.
Hey, I like that. We were perfect, a perfect 4 for 4. All the pitches got deals. And to be honest with you, I think each of these businesses are going to be heavy hitters going forward. Like I said, I'm glad that he ended up kind of including the I guess the first location in that deal. It kind of reminded me of a College Hunks Hall and Junk. Nick Friedman, he was on a pilot episode and kind of he had the College Hunks Hall and Junks, and and then they were kind of pitching this sister company, and the original College Hunks Hall and Junks wasn't included in it in the deal, and then they kind of ultimately didn't get a deal. But again, that company is going to do $300 million in revenue this year. So it seems like in his case, Jacob, he actually ended up roping in the I guess the first location, which again, it makes sense. If I'm giving you 200,000, I don't want to give you 200,000 for 10% of an ideal going forward. I want something tangible. So that makes sense that Robert kind of made him kind of rope in the deal. And I think that Robert is somebody who I think is going to be good for Jacob in this scenario. And it seems like Jacob is he's a bulldog. He's somebody who can execute. What do you say, 9 years, and was able to sell a commercial cleaning business. So this guy, he's the real deal. And I think that him and Robert will kind of do some great things together, whether or not they go the corporate owned route or the franchisor route. Let's take a look at the website here really quickly before closing out. Hey, I kept it. I know I get a lot of comments under the video of, hey man, leave it to the end. So this time I left it to the end. Hopefully you guys appreciate me leaving it to the end. You see the website here, Dig World. Like I said, they have, I think this particular version of Dig World, a trademark application pending. They do have a registered trademark just on the term Dig World. I mean, this is cool. I would actually enjoy this better than going to your traditional theme park or your trampoline park. Let me kind of run some cats, some construction equipment. Pick up some dirt, throw some dirt around, hit some golf balls. Trying to see at the bottom. Typically, you see at the bottom here that they have some patents. I'm not seeing it, but the fact that he said they have some proprietary technology leads me to believe that, even though it didn't come up in this episode, that they do have some patents based on their let me see if I can do a control F. Based on their business here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, but like I said, that's not to mean that they don't have anything. It just kind of didn't come up in this episode. What do you guys think? I'm just glad we're a perfect 4 for 4. Again, I love Dig World. I love the concept, the fact that they made money so quickly. I think this is what 2024 was the second full year. They made $300,000. Seemed like this guy was buttoned up. The Sharks loved the presentation. He was able to answer all the questions. Seems like things were going south a little bit based on the only kind of letting or offering for the ideal of the franchising model going forward. But it seems like kind of things picked up when he was able to kind of rope back in that first location into the deal. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like I said, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, as well as hit the subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Perfect 4 for 4. We see you guys next week on season 16, episode 14, I think it is, episode 14. So we're chugging along here. We're chugging along. Let's see if we have some good stuff next week. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you later. Take care.